Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and thanks for tuning in to another epic battle in 3rd Age Reforged. This was a 2 vs 2, and it was a subscribers battle replay submitted by Son of Celebrimbor, so thank you very much for submitting it. And I do hope you guys enjoy having more 3rd Age content on the channel as of late. I do have another replay that was submitted to me about a week ago. I do plan to get to that very shortly, as well as an Attila Siege, so look forward to both of those battles. But without further ado, let's get to the army comps. The first army on the battlefield today is Cardolan, and this one is commanded by Son of Celebrimbor. I think that it is his favorite faction, because he does play it quite frequently. He's brought about 4 units of Greenwatch Garrison Spearmen here in the front lines, and as the Spearmen move forwards, you can see that makes way for a couple units of Greenwatch Garrison Footmen, which are a pike unit. Right behind that, he has some Dunedain Captains, and he has 2 units of Minas Tirith Sharpshooters, so a crossbow infantry, and then check these guys out. This is a really cool unit. Minotaur Roman Guardians, so it looks like they are a crossbow unit, but they've also got massive halberds as well, so really cool to see that on the battlefield. In the front lines, he's got some archers as opposed to the crossbows, so 2 units of Minas Tirith archers, and then he has a unit of Gwathlo trackers. And way over on this side, he's got 1 unit of Dunedain Rangers, so going quite heavy in the skirmish department. And he also has a few units of cavalry over here. We've got some Dunedain Commanders on the left-hand side here, and then we've got some Tharbad Riders. And I believe this is his general over here, the Royal Court of House Thorindr. And it looks very interesting, but it looks like we've got Gandalf here as the actual general's bodyguard. So interesting, very interesting. But that is it for Son of Celebrimbor's army. You can see that he is moving forwards to go around this little swamp that we have in the center. So while he's doing that, let's go ahead and take a look at the ally. The next army on the battlefield is Dale, and this one is commanded by Robandium. And he's got a pretty sweet force, some units that I've never seen before, so it must have been dropped in the new patch. But he's got 2 units of Swordmasters of Karnan in the front lines here, mixed in with 2 units of Dalian Spearmen. Those are pretty long spears, though, so I wonder if they kind of act sort of like pikemen, or if they have a pike formation, or if they just have shield wall. But look at these guys. I've never seen a Dale unit look like this before. I don't know how accurate this is in the book, but feel free to weigh down in the comments. These Blackshot Dragon Slayers, they look awesome, almost like assassins. Really, really cool. So I think that's Dale's most elite infantry. But we also have some cheaper infantry over here. He's got 2 units of Laketown Pikemen. And then he's got a couple units of the Laketown Infantry, again, running around the swamp to join up with Son of Celebrimbor. And he's also brought a few units of Laketown Bowmen as well. So it looks like they're all moving into a better position, but that is it for the allies, so let's go ahead and take a look at the enemies. The first enemy army on the battlefield today are the Dwarves of Kazad-Dum, commanded by R.J. Fleischmann. And right in the front lines, he's got 1 unit of Dwarven Miners here. Right next to that, he's got 2 units of 3rd Legion. And then way down at the end, he's got 3 units of 2nd Legion. In the center, he has 3 units of Orc Hunters of Kazad-Dum, so it's good he's bringing some archers to the battlefield. And then right in behind, he's got his most elite units. So he's got a unit of Legion Bodyguard, Guards of Kazad-Dum, Sons of the Fallen, 2 units of Hammerers of Gundabad, and then he's got Mithril Guard over here as well. And that is it for R.J. Fleischmann's Dwarven force, so let's go ahead and take a look at the last enemy. The final enemy army on the battlefield today are the Elves of Mirkwood, commanded by Emerald Warden. And most of his force is hidden in the trees, so we won't really be able to take a look at it as a whole. But he does have a few units that are out of the trees that we can take a look at. I'm going to slaughter these names. I have no idea how to pronounce Elven names. But I believe that this is his general here, the Roachspin Amon Lank, which is really cool. Looks like they're riding deer. I believe Thranduil in The Hobbit was riding kind of the same type of beast. And he's got this unit over here with these awesome looking swords which face opposite ends of each other. That is such a deadly weapon for the battlefield. They're called Artholian E. Nanwaith That's probably wrong, but I did give it my best. But yeah, most of their forces are hidden over here in the trees. You can see a couple of them popping into view here. Hirapeng, which is a missile unit. Probably the elves really focusing on missile troops, whereas the dwarves have solid infantry, which is actually a really good combo when you think of it. Dwarven infantry with elven bows. That is going to be a tough battle. But yeah, the rest of it is hidden in the trees. Can't really see much of what's going on. But as the allied forces get closer to the tree line, and these elves do pop into view, we'll take a look at them during the actual battle. But that is it for the army comps, guys. So without further ado, let's get to the battle. Alright guys, welcome to the battlefield, and we're looking from Cardolan's standpoint here. You can see the horde of dwarves and elves that have come from the forest here. And if you look at the mini-map, it looks like Dale has a lot of their troops quite far behind, and they're also going to be quite tired from charging around this little marshland in the center to join up with Cardolan. It looks like Cardolan is exchanging arrows with the elves. However, the elves probably are the better bowmen there, and the dwarves are not wasting any time, sending forwards their first line of attackers. That consists of the 3rd Legion, 2nd Legion, and this unit of Dwarven miners. But yeah, here is most of the elven archers. So we've got some units of Hirapeng here. Looks like 2 units of them. Oh, we've actually got a charge over here as well with the Rukbin Amanlak into the Earls of Dale, which actually I neglected to look at in the army comps, so apologies there. The Earls of Dale obviously winded from having to run all the way around the battlefield. How are we looking over here? We got some Tharbad riders actually breaking from the safety behind their lines to get some early harass off. And look at all of these archers just getting slaughtered by the elven bows here. Good positioning here by Son of Celebrimbor, though, by using the pikemen mixed with the spears. That will be a very solid line, but these units of 2nd Legion are pretty solid as well. However, they are shaken right away, so I don't know if that's from being charged by the unit of cavalry, the Tharbad riders here. But here we go. Looks like we've got some elven units moving in alongside their dwarven allies to charge the lines of Cardolan over here as well. So I don't think we saw these guys in the army comps. Dual-wielding axes, which is very, very cool indeed. I believe they're called Helthil Altar, or Hethil Itar. But I'm not sure if Emerald Warden notices that they aren't in melee. There we go. He finally does send them in against the spear pike wall. How are we looking about being outflanked? It doesn't look like they're trying too hard to outflank the Cardolan forces. We got the Dunedain commanders over here as well that have already broken this unit of elves. So I'm not sure if the morale for these units is quite low. They could be a cheaper unit. I'm not exactly sure. But more waves of dwarves coming in here. We've got the Hammers of Gundabad pushing right for the center. Looks like the Sons of the Fallen and the Guards of Kazad-Dum actually catching the Tharbad Riders in melee. And yeah, we've got some more elves moving in over here. What do we got here? Looks like we got some more archers actually focusing down the units of Dale as they start to pour in. Now, this is a bad situation for Dale because not only are his units winded by the time they get to the battlefield, they're kind of streaming in, you know, 1, 2, 3 at a time here. You can see that Dale, or the player of Dale, realizes this mistake, and I think he is trying to pull back his forces and regroup just a little bit. The only problem with that is that it leaves Cardolan, Son of Celebrimbor, completely undefended here. So it's basically a 2v1 at this point. There we go. Well done by Son of Celebrimbor with his cavalry, though, getting some really nice charges onto the backs of the 2nd Legion and also this unit of elves in the center. A lot of units are shaken here, but it looks like we've got some of the heavy infantry of the elves that have pushed into melee now, and they're helping the Hammers of Gundabad in the center. Over on the right-hand side, we've got the 3rd Legion mixed with the Mithril Guard. And what do we got fighting over here? Looks like one of the units of 3rd Legion was trying to flank around, and actually it looks like they will be successful in getting around the pikemen. And, oh, it looks like the Dwarven miners are being cut down by the Minas Girthan archers. but they are shaken as well. Looks like they are looking to lose that battle. Well done by RJ Fleischman going in against this unit of archers, but it looks like they do act as halberds, so as soon as they get pushed into melee, they just take their halberds off their back and act like an infantry unit. But looks like Cardolan is still focusing down the remainder of the forces that have not engaged. It's mostly the dwarf archers over here, the orc hunters of Khazad-Dum. We do have one unit of archers from the elves over here, Delapeng E. Emrin Dior. I should probably just stop pronouncing them. It's not really going well for me. But here we go. This is a little bit of a blob, though. Hopefully, Robandium will kind of spread out his forces. He's actually tied down his earls in melee for quite some time as well. And it looks like they're fighting some pretty heavy infantry from the Realm of Mirkwood. And it looks like Emerald Warden is kind of pulling back to a better position, allowing Dale to just blob up his forces even further. So he's pushing a lot of these Lake Town pikemen right through the center. It would be nice if he kind of pushed them more towards the right and the left. And actually, the best option would be for him to send a lot of units to outflank the dwarves and elves that are fighting against Cardolan, because Son of Celebrimbor at this point is still holding quite strong. Despite the fact that he is, he is being attacked quite heavily by the dwarves and the elves, he is holding quite well. And he's also got the royal court of House Thorinder now engaged in melee as well. So I'm going to just stop talking for a little bit and see if I can get some close-ups of the battle. This is a really nice line battle.
We've lost half of our men.
Looking at the percentage allies to percentage enemies, the allies actually only losing 40%, but the enemies, the dwarves and the elves, losing 54%, so that's actually kind of surprising. Just given the fact that they're, really good factions. Not surprising given the caliber of Son of Celebrimbor and Robandium as far as their game skill. But normally the dwarves and the elves are pretty good powerhouses. Mind you, again, I don't really play 3rd Age Reforged too much, so I don't know if they've been balanced quite heavily. I know that the elves are very, very expensive as far as their units go, and some of the units are capped to 1, so I could see how Dale would be a good faction to choose, because I feel like a lot of their infantry are pretty cost-effective. But yeah, this is just an all-out grind over here. Dale pushing everything he can into the elven lines here. And actually, he's starting to spread out and break through here, which is good. Unfortunately, some Lake Town infantry are breaking, but the Swordmasters of Karnan are engaging the archers in melee now. Looks like we've actually got some javelins from the River Patrol over here firing into the sides of the archers. But he is leaving some units of archers to get some really nice flanking shots onto the back of the Earls of Esgaroth here. You can see that a lot of them are shaken, and they are exhausted from the massive march that they had to undertake just to get to the battle. But Cardolan, their numbers are starting to thin now. You can see in the center they're actually holding a lot better than I thought they would against the Hammers of Gundabad. So it's a pretty good strategy, apparently, with Cardolan to use the Spear Pike combo. Do we have some units fighting on the flanks over here? Yeah, it looks like Sons of the Fallen engaging the sharpshooters, the crossbows. But the Sons of the Fallen down to 11 men now. Let's go ahead and see how well Dale is doing over here. I mean, Dale is doing pretty solid. Looks like more of the elves are breaking over here. So Dale really being able to muscle through. Here we go. We've got a few more units of elves that have come down to stop Dale from flanking around the Dwarven infantry. And we've got this awesome elven unit over here that is still engaged in melee. That is such a cool weapon. So they are going in against the Lake Town River Patrol. I guess they've used up all their ammo at this point. Actually, it looks like another unit way back there. Yeah, they still got some ammo. So yeah, the balance of power is in the Allies' favor. 84% of the enemies have been killed and 71% of the Allied forces. Again, Son of Celebrimbor, well done with his cavalry. Really getting some good cycle charges there. The Hammers of Gundabad here down to 2 men. We've got the Dwarves of Kazad-Dum, 1 man still fighting over here. And there we go, he's been taken down. The Mithril Guard is still holding the line, though, with 10 men and a couple units of the Hammers of Gundabad of the 3rd Legion. They're making some headway over here. However, it looks like Son of Celebrimbor is able to pull back one of his units of archers and then just fire right point blank into them. Here we go. It looks like we got the Orc Hunters of Khazad-Dûm moving into melee to try to silence those archers. And yeah, this Royal Court of House Thorindor still alive and kicking. Getting some really nice charges there. Looks like Emerald Warden with some of his elves are trying to pull back to utilize more of their ammunition.
Good tidings. The enemy general lies dead.
Okay, so it looks like the Dwarven general has been slain on the battlefield. And I'm not sure how much that does affect morale. I feel like dwarves do have pretty tanky morale, even with their general being gone. But again, another cycle charge from House Thorindor there into the backs of the what is this? At least the Dwarves of Kazad-Dûm? No, the Legion bodyguard here. Still fighting strong even after their general has been slain. And the Mithril Guard also fighting. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that the Mithril Guard actually cannot break. I think that all of them need to die. But yeah, Cardolan did win this engagement. He was fighting the bulk, I'd say, of the dwarves and elves in the early part of the battle there, but he has paid for it with many lives. A lot of Cardolan infantry lies dead on the battlefield today. Looks like we got a depleted unit of pikemen that may have come back from routing. And let's focus a little bit more on Dale. Looks like Dale actually has wrapped up his battle. Just got a couple units here still fighting against the Earls of Esgaroth. Or, sorry, Esgaroth. But it looks like they're disengaging for some reason. Very interesting. Oh, but a couple of the elves being sniped by javelins. Oh, no. So, looks like the Dale general actually killed by the remaining elves here. 98% of the enemies killed, though, so I'm pretty sure that Cardolan and Dale will see victory here. And look at this guy just cutting down the elves from behind. Most of the unit disengaging to come over here, but we've got the elves charging back in, but it looks like they're being slaughtered. Here's this guy once again right at the back. Let's see if he gets another kill. Oh. There we go. Oh, no, he's not dead yet. Turn around. Oh, never mind. He's like, forget it. What do we got? What do we got fighting here? Yes, this unit. I'm so glad that this is the last unit of elves that is still fighting, wherever they are. Or is that the Dale unit? Oh, my apologies. That's the Dale unit. I thought it was the Elven unit with the cool curved blades there. I think this must be the Elven general, because I think he is the last one. A brilliant last stand by him.
The enemy general lies dead.
And there we go. The Elven general cut down by Dale. And it looks like a victory for Robandium and Son of Celebrimbor. But a bloody battlefield to get to that victory. So here's the results. So Son of Celebrimbor bringing 1,400 men and Robandium 1,280. You can see that the man count much larger than the elves and the dwarves just because their units are so expensive. But How many kills? So yeah, Son of Celebrimbor obviously getting the most kills. I think it's just because Robandium just took a while to get into melee. And I think the plan for RJ Fleischman and Emerald Warden was to wreck Son of Celebrimbor quick enough so that they could just deal with Dale afterwards. But looking at that cavalry, yeah, 310 kills for the cavalry there. And 143 by the Dunedain commanders. And the Tharbad Riders, 94. So, yeah, Son of Celebrimbor really using his cavalry effectively there. So, well done. So, I hope you did enjoy the battle, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. And as always, I will see you in the next one.